checking here to see if you can. Now, for some reason, when this starts, it says I'm starting, but I don't know if I'm really starting or not. I've done a few of these live things, and for some reason, it just does not. I don't know. It's not counterintuitive. So, hello to everyone. How are you doing? I'm going to try to get on here so I can see your comments. Let me see if I can do that. I want to get to my little page here that I am. Good. It says my stream is in good health. So that's a positive thing. If you can see and hear me, let me know in the comments. I would very much appreciate it. I don't know. It's not. Okay, there we go. That's not what I want. Sorry. It always takes me a second to like figure out. There we go. Open live chat in a new window. That's exactly what I want here, but it's not doing anything. I don't know. Is that okay? I don't know. If anybody can see me or hear me, let me know. Because I have this little chat thing next to where I am. I actually can't even see myself because it's like over my face. And I don't know if the chat is actually working or not. So I feel like what I'm doing here is not exactly the right thing to do. I don't know. This whole YouTube live. So apparently there's going to be a new like YouTube live something that you can do on your phone. Like Facebook Live is so easy to do. And that's why I normally do my live videos on Facebook. But I know a lot of you guys aren't on Facebook. So that's why I'm doing it here on YouTube. But it just is so cumbersome because you have to have, oh, good. Thank you guys. It's like, so I have to have this encoder thing, and then I have to like run this separate program in addition to my YouTube page, and I don't even know. So it's like bleh. Crazy, but thank you. I appreciate it, Nikki and Luana, for letting me know that I am loud and clear and all that. So I wanted to come here live and do a video for you guys because I've gotten a lot of questions and comments lately about my skincare routine. It's funny because I have not always had clear skin. So I'm excited to share with you what I'm doing. It's just been probably over the last, let's see, probably over the last maybe, I want to say maybe a year. We'll call it a year that I have felt like I can go out in public without makeup on and feel sort of comfortable with myself. But from maybe 2003, I guess, up until 2015, I was still trying to figure out what works for my skin. Why is my skin still breaking out? Why was it breaking out a lot? And so anyway, so I'm here to tell you all these different things that I do, and they're all natural things you can do. So just to give you a little background on where my skin journey has been, I had, the typical teenager acne breakouts and things like that through high school. My skin didn't really get bad, like bad until college. My freshman year of college, it wasn't bad the first month. After that, my face just completely exploded. So I never took like internal medication for that, but I did do proactive solution, and that did work for the time that I used it. I used proactive, my gosh, from probably January of my freshman year of college all the way until I was diagnosed with having a gluten intolerance, which was in 2011. So from 2000 and, oh, I'm going to give you my age, 2003 to 2011 was the length of time that I used Proactive, and it worked great for the time that I used it. Once I went off Proactive, my doctor at the time, he told me, he was like, you want to make sure that your skincare products and things are all gluten-free too, because what is you put on your skin goes in your body, and your body can still have that inflammation and immune response to it if it has gluten. He wanted me to be off of soy as well at the time too. And so I was like, okay, I really just need to switch to natural products. So I went off of Proactive. At the time, I was vegetarian and I was gluten-free, and my skin exploded again at the age of 5 years ago. 5 years ago from now, in my mid 20s. And so I was like, I gotta figure something out. So it took me a while to get to the point where I am now. And at this point now, I can feel confident in going out of the house without makeup on. I don't have the acne breakouts like I did. And a lot of that stems to my diet. So when I was vegetarian, I was eating a lot of beans, a lot of rice. We were eating a fair amount of dairy still too. I was still eating eggs. I was never vegan. So I was like lacto-ovo vegetarian for 2 solid years. And, we ate a lot of hummus and, just a lot of like bean and grain products. And I didn't realize at the time that all of that stuff that you eat kind of, when your body metabolizes it, it kind of metabolizes it as like a sugar. And, we all know sugar is not necessarily good for our skin. So, I was gluten-free in 2011 through now, of course. And so it wasn't until a few months ago when I completely cut out dairy, I cut out grains, I cut out, a lot of the processed gluten-free stuff, that my skin really started reacting in a very positive way. So I know that diet has a lot to do with skin and acne and all of that stuff. So that's something that's really important. The second thing that I've been really trying to do is get a good amount of quality sleep. And I've been using a couple of different things to help me with that. If you saw what I'm looking at here, I have like all of my spread of what I want to show you guys like sitting here, and it's not in any sort of organized fashion whatsoever. I don't know. So I'm going to be looking over here a lot. So one thing that my husband and I have both been doing before bed every single day is we've been using lavender and cedarwood. Here it is. So lavender and cedarwood essential oils are fabulous for sleep. You can diffuse them together in a diffuser, or you can make a pillow spray out of them. That's what I do. I like to take a 2-ounce spray bottle that you can get from like travel sections or whatever, and I put maybe 5 or 10 drops of both of these in the spray bottle, and I fill it up with water, shake it up, and I spray it on my pillow and on my sheets and stuff before I go to bed. I'll also use these topically. Cedarwood's really good for your hair, so I like run it through my hair. You can see like I have some frizzies today because it's so humid. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm like ready for fall. It's September and it's like 95 degrees outside. But anyway, so cedarwood's good for your hair, so I put it on my hair just to kind of get it on me. And then the lavender, I pretty much smell from the bottle, but I'll just put it like on my neck or, somewhere where I can smell it. It's really calming and really nice to use before bed. So I've been using these two combination just to help me sleep at night. I've also been trying to limit screen time on iPhones too. When you have computer screens or your iPhone or you're watching TV or whatever, there's all that blue light. And so we actually ordered blue blocker glasses off of Amazon. They're yellow tinted glasses to cut down on the blue that our eyes are like see. And it really helps to turn your mind into sleep mode when you wear those. You can also put, like, if you have a newer iPhone, like this is an iPhone 6, if you have one of these, you can set the dimmer on here to turn yellow and get really like low at whatever time you want to. So I have mine set from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. to be like really, really yellow. So if I have to look at my phone, it's not going to interrupt my sleep. So there's that. I also have Flux on my computer that I'm talking to you through, and that helps to also dim the blue light, so it kind of turns everything yellow. So been really working on trying to get really quality sleep, calming teas at night like peppermint tea, not really eating too late before bed, that kind of stuff, and a nice warm shower, etc. So diet, sleep, those have been pretty much my two main things. I've also incorporated a couple of supplements into my routine. I take a fish oil capsule from Nordic Naturals, and I also take 2000 IU of vitamin D3 every day, and I take a multivitamin from Raw for Life. It's actually the prenatal, not pregnant or anything, but I take it because it has a good amount of iron and, you know, a lot of good stuff just for females. So I take the raw prenatal, even though, whatever. Anyway, so those are like the three supplements that I take in addition to the sleep and the diet. Okay, so now let's get into actually what I put on my skin and all that stuff. So, talking from an acne standpoint and from a anti-aging standpoint, this is what I do. So I wash my face, and this is gonna seem weird. Ooh, good. Okay, so Luana's saying that she is just learning about essential oils and been doing autoimmune paleo. So my most of you guys know this already. My husband follows autoimmune paleo. I follow paleo. I'm still eating like things like eggs and what else am I eating? Some nuts every now and again. Still doing like tomatoes, but I've cut out all peppers, all white potatoes at this point. So, hello, Saskatchewan. That's fabulous. Hello from Ohio. So anyway, that's great. I'm so glad you guys are like starting to explore eating paleo and eating, you know, healthy and natural and stuff. That's such a good thing to do. Like, your body will thank you, trust me. So anyway, of course, everything I talk about today, I didn't do this disclaimer and I need to. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not an esthetician, whatever. This is just what I do and what works well for me. So, washing my face. I wash my face with baking soda. This is the jar I keep in. This is the one and only jar that I keep in my shower. And what I do with this, I need to refill it actually. I take a little bit of baking soda, I put it in my hand, and I put some water with it. And if you put enough baking soda in there with a little bit of water, it forms a paste. And I use that paste to wash my face. If I have some like waterproof mascara or something like hardcore makeup on my face or something at the time, I will use jojoba oil first on a little cotton pad to take off my makeup, and then I will wash my face with the baking soda. So that's what I do. That's pretty much it. In the winter time when my skin gets a little dry, I will mix the jojoba with the baking soda and water just to give it a little more moisture. That's the gist of it. That's what I wash my face with. I don't use any fancy cleansers. I just don't. I don't need to. So for afterward, depending on what my skin needs, if I like have a blemish, let's say, I will use clove essential oil. This you have to be very careful with because clove is one of those hot oils, and hot oils can burn your skin. A couple of examples like cinnamon, oregano, peppermint sometimes, clove. Any of those hot oils can burn your skin. So if it does, you'll want to dilute it with a carrier oil. And what a carrier oil is, any vegetable-based oil. So jojoba oil, coconut oil, olive oil, that's all totally fine. So you can do that, and that will dilute the clove enough so it won't burn your skin. I have very sensitive skin, and I have never had a problem with using clove topically on a blemish. So there's that. It smells amazing. It smells like fall. In the fall and Christmas time, I like to make oranges with clove buds in them, and that's what it reminds me of. It is very strong though, so a little goes a long way. I literally take the clove on my finger and then I dab it on wherever the blemish is. This is before bed. I don't normally do it in the morning. I normally do it before bed. So if I have a blemish, clove. If I have a few blemishes and I don't want to put clove all over my face because that's kind of overkill, I will use tea tree. And tea tree has been around for years. I've used tea tree, yeah, I think since high school, really, which is a long time ago, on larger parts of my face that may have acne. I used to have a lot of they weren't whiteheads, but they were like under the skin bumps on my forehead. And so I would use the tea tree on that, and that would help a lot. Those just kind of go away. They didn't come to a head and pop or anything. They would just like leave. How does that happen? I don't know. But anyway, tea tree is really good for occasional acne as well. So for natural signs of aging, as we all have, they say, which is crazy to me. I was watching, who was it? Michelle Fan, somebody on YouTube, and no, I don't remember, but they were saying how at age 25 you should start using anti-wrinkle products. What? Which seems so early to me. I don't know, but uh, anyway, I started using them then. I use them now. So, if I don't have any acne that I have to worry about after I'm done washing my face in the evening, I will put frankincense on. Frankincense historically was used in like embalming and preservation, and so it's very good for slowing down the natural signs of aging. So I love to use frankincense essential oil. And in addition to this, I will use manuka. Manuka is also very good for like anti-aging. So what I'll do with the frankincense is I'll put a drop in the palm of my hand, and then I'll rub it around my eyes, kind of like a raccoon. And then I'll put it where like any smile lines like here or on my forehead. I'll put that on before I go to bed too. Same thing with the manuka. So I kind of rotate these in and out. So I'll do this one sometimes, I'll do this one sometimes. You know, just depends on what I'm feeling on a particular day. There's no right or wrong. They both do pretty much the same thing. It just is what I am drawn to in the evening, I'll use. Frankincense is also really grounding, really nice to use before bed too. So I will use those. And I have a derma roller that I forgot to bring out here because it's in my cabinet in my bathroom. And I did a little video on this. It made my favorites, I don't know, a few months ago. And it basically looks like it has a handle and it has a little, kind of like this on the side. And it has a bunch of little pokey needles out of it. And I'll roll that on my skin maybe once every 3 to 5 days, more 5 to 6 days if I forget. And then I'll rub that on, roll it all over my face, and then I'll put the frankincense on after that. And that's really good for boosting collagen production in your face. So you can roll it anywhere. You can roll it on your neck, you can roll it wherever. You can get it on Amazon or on eBay. You'll want a sterile one that comes in a sealed package that is, from what I read, no longer than 0.5 millimeter for the derma roller, and it works great. I really like it. I don't feel like I have to use anything in addition to that besides like the frankincense or the manuka right afterward. Like I feel like it really does a good job. So there's that. As far as other things for my face, if it's feeling dry, I'll use jojoba oil as my moisturizer under my makeup. Speaking of makeup, there it is. This is the makeup that I use. I use the Organic Wear CC cream, and this one is really it's 100% natural origin. Okay, what does that really mean? I'm looking into other brands of foundation. This one works okay. It works, I mean, the coverage is really good. There is soy in here. I'm sure it's GMO soy. Like, you know, I'm sure it's not organic. Compared to other drugstore makeup brands that you could find, it's probably better than those. However, I'm still on the search for a better makeup. But this is what I used for my foundation. So I know a lot of you guys had been asking about that. Sometimes I use the Bare Minerals too, which I know is not the best in the world either, but it's not horrible either. Both are natural, but they're both gluten-free too, which is why I use those. And so the Bare Minerals one I use is just the regular original SPF 15, you know, that you put on with a brush. Okay, so something else that I do, from forever ago, and always have had like blackheads on my nose. I know most people do. And so rather than buying Biore strips, I make my own. And it's really easy to do. It's a little cumbersome, but it's not too bad. So to make your own Biore strips, there's a couple of different options you can do with this. You'll take gelatin, which is really good if you take it internally for your digestive function and for collagen and all of that. Take a tablespoon of gelatin with 3 tablespoons of hot-ish, not boiling, but hot water. Mix it together and let it sit because you don't want to put this on your nose or your wherever. If it's too hot, you don't want to burn yourself. And if you want, you can turn it into a charcoal mask by using charcoal capsules. This is just activated charcoal. It comes in a little pill like that. And then you just take the pill apart and then you put that into the mixture, mix it up, and then add a drop or 2 of tea tree oil. That's mostly to mask the smell, but tea tree is very cleansing and all that. So you mix it together, and then I use my finger to just like rub it on my nose and any other spots. Like if I feel like I need it on my chin or I need it on my forehead or whatever, I normally don't. I normally just do it on my nose. And then you let it sit and dry for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depends on how humid it is outside. And then once it's done, you peel it off. You have to be careful because it will take hair with it too. So if you do it on your forehead or something, make sure it stays away from your eyebrows or it'll pull your eyebrow out. Unless you want your eyebrows to do that, careful. It's very powerful stuff. So anyway, it works great. It's super easy to do. And if you have gelatin at home already, it's like pretty much free to do that. So it works excellent as a Biore imitation mask strip. Other things, yes. So if you are wanting to fade like liver spots or freckles, you can do that with lemon essential oil. We all know lemon lightens your hair, right? This also fades marks. Also acne scarring. It can help fade acne scarring too. Be careful with this if you're going out in the sun because it is photosensitive. So if you put it on and you're planning on going outside within 12 hours, you'll want to use a sunscreen on top of this. Okay, it's very, very, very important because you can burn. I don't know why the citrus oils do that. There's something in them that causes your skin to react to the sun. Just be very careful when you do. But anyway, that's a good option if you're wanting to fade some acne marks or whatever. I used to have really dark, and you can't even see them now. I'm like in a mirror image, so I can't even tell. I used to have really dark acne scarring here. You could see it in my wedding photos and stuff. And now I don't have it anymore because I had been using lemon on there. So that's just a nice little option for you guys. Other things that you can do, I have been really trying to support hormones lately too. And so there are some oils that are very good for that. One is called Dragon Time that I do not have. One's called Endoflex and one is called Clary Sage. This has been my favorite hormone balancing oil for a very long time now. Well, maybe it's only been 2 months or so, maybe a month. It smells like McDonald's iced tea to me. I don't know why that is, but it's very good for balancing hormones. And for me, both acne and anxiety and digestive things happen when my hormones are out of whack. And so to support myself, like I was saying before, with my diet and sleeping and all of that stuff, using Clary Sage and Endoflex have been very supportive for my hormone regulation. So that's also something that's been very helpful in keeping my acne at bay. Other skincare related things, this actually has to do more with bugs. Bug repellent. Purification is a great oil to use if you are going outside and you want to repel gnats, no-see-ums, mosquitoes, things like that, because in here there's lemongrass, there's citronella. It smells like a citronella candle basically. And so what I do with this, if I'm going outside, instead of spraying myself with those nasty store-bought scary things that you can get from the grocery store. I take a couple drops of purification and I put it on my clothes and helps to keep the bugs at bay. Very helpful for outdoor summer concerts. I use those all the time. And another thing that I've been doing too is I've been making my own deodorant. I've been doing this for a couple years now. This is the jar I keep it in. I know it's glamorous, isn't it? My deodorant. I make this out of coconut oil, either non-GMO cornstarch or arrowroot powder. This one's made out of arrowroot, and baking soda and essential oils of choice. So in here I actually have frankincense, and that's because it's very good for lymphatic drainage, and also use stress away because it just smells so amazing. Sometimes I'll mix it up and I'll put in eucalyptus and peppermint, and that's very cooling. I like to do that in the summer. I'm actually going to probably do that when I go to Disney so I can keep myself nice and cool, which would be awesome. But yeah, so natural way of making this. I do have a video on how to make your own deodorant. It works fantastic. I don't think I smell. Maybe I'm just immune to it. I don't know. Hopefully not. So yeah, I love making my own products if I can. For a lotion, all I do now really is I use these two together, coconut oil and lavender. That's it. So I'll take some coconut oil, put it in my palm, I'll put a drop of lavender on, rub it everywhere, and that's my lotion. So none of this store-bought hootenanny. I don't do that. Anything else? That's pretty much it from a skin from skincare. One other thing that you can do with the baking soda is you can add this if you have like some sort of shower gel that you like to use. You can use baking soda to turn it into a scrub, and it works great. You can do that, and if you have, like, they call chicken skin, which is awful to say, on the back of your arm or something, you can use baking soda and apple cider vinegar to help get rid of that. Just rub on the baking soda with a little bit of water, rinse it off, and then put apple cider vinegar on top of that a couple times a day, and that generally helps with that. So if you have any questions, leave them in the chat here. I can see everybody here. Let me see. What do we have? Hello, Rupa. Britcha May, hello from Riverside, California. Hello. Hello, JT from Oklahoma. All right, Bonnie. Okay, suggestions for ovarian cysts. So I can't actually legally talk about that because these essential oils are meant to keep you healthy. Okay, so if there's something that's going on that has you below what we call the yellow line, the oils are not intended to help with that. Per the FDA. So there are a number of resources to look at online that I can suggest to you though. Check out PubMed, PUBMED.org, and type in essential oil ovarian cyst and see what comes up for you. There's also a really good amount of reference materials that you can look up too. I wish I could talk more about that, but I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm not helpful for you right now. But for supporting hormones, clary sage is fantastic. Endoflex is really good too. And I am going to see if I can give you another suggestion here. Basil. Do some research on basil, Bonnie. Basil essential oil. Look that up. One at a time. Hello. I have been using Young Living's deodorant for a month and I love it. Yes. Okay. So I actually have not tried Young Living's deodorant yet because I make my own. And I made this jar probably, I don't even know how long ago. I think it was before Christmas, a long time ago. And I can show you how much is in here. And I didn't double the batch. You can see how I put this on. I literally scrape it out with my finger and I put it on. Like, you know, we're always so disgusted by armpits, which is silly. Like we shouldn't be. I don't know. Just cracks me up. But anyway, So I've been using this and I can customize the scent and all that. I wanted to try Young Living's. They had a peppermint one. They have a peppermint one. And it was out of stock the last time that I tried to order it. So it's still on my wish list. It's in my essential rewards. What do you call the thing where you don't go under your amount? I don't remember what it's called. But anyway, I have it in that secondary cart for when it comes back in stock. It might be back in stock now. I don't know. But I just haven't tried Young Living's deodorant yet, but I've heard really good things about that. So yeah, I like to do mine because I like to customize the scent. And it just works well for me because I have all these ingredients at home already. So if I run out of it, I don't have to wait for my Essential Rewards order to get here. I can just put it on and be done with it. So it's always a good thing. A lot of you guys had asked me about how to order essential oils and where do you get them from and why I use Young Living and all that. And I'll talk about that briefly here. I used or have used a lot of essential oil brands in the past. I've used pretty much everyone under the sun. And I settled on Young Living as my brand of choice. Hello, Budget and Beauty. How you doing? You're not too far from me. And I tried a lot of essential oils and I had some pretty bad reactions to some of them that you can get at the health food store. One actually made me sick, which was not good. I got a couple of skin rashes from another brand that I got online, and etc. And so the whole process had kind of turned me off from essential oils a little bit because I just wasn't happy with it. And so then I started dabbling with Young Living at first. I don't know, maybe 5 or so years ago. And the oils that got me hooked, the two that got me hooked are Thieves and Dries. Those two blends, that was it. That's all I needed to get me hooked on knowing that these oils are very supportive and they work. They work. They do a good job. My body reacts really well to Young Living. Plus, Young Living owns their own farms. They are in total control of the oil that's in here from the planting of the seeds on the farms that they own through the bottling and distillation process. They do their own testing and they do third-party testing too. They send it out. And if any of those batches fail, they recycle that oil back into the land as a natural fertilizer and they start the process over again. Now, it's more expensive for Young Living to do that, but it shows their integrity. If they will not give their customers anything that they are not 100% backing, 100% proud of, that's like totally 100% pure. So I don't know why I was getting reactions from other essential oil brands before. I have no idea. I have an idea of why, possibly, just because there might have been other things in the oil that the label did not disclose. Could be. Could be that the, might have been synthetic. I don't know. So anyway, that's why I am with Young Living now and why I only use Young Living as my essential oil company of choice. So I will be having let's see, I just ordered my Essential Rewards order yesterday, and it's a pretty big order because I was out of a lot of things and some stuff I wanted to try. So that will be coming in the mail next week sometime. So I'll make sure to do an unboxing for you guys to show you guys what I got in my order. I'm very excited. Let's see. A Madison 747. Can you make a room spray from essential oils? Absolutely. So I always make my own room sprays. I can't even go down the Febreze aisle at the grocery store anymore because those scents are just so overwhelming to me. I can't even handle it. Like, ooh, I don't know. And I used to work at Bath and Body Works. Can you believe that? Ooh, in college, I worked there for 2 years. Was it 2 years? Maybe 3 years. I don't know. And at the time, I loved those scents. They didn't affect me at all. I would not leave like with a headache or anything. Now, if I went into Bath and Body Works now, oh my God, I don't even know if I could walk in the store. I'd probably have to like stand outside. Where am I going with that? Anyway, yes, you can totally make your own room spray. So how you can do that, a couple of different ways. I did just recently a room spray it was a combination It was actually it was an imitation, what do they call, poopery spray, like a bathroom spray. And I did this to take down to Disney with us. So what I did is I took a 2-ounce spray bottle and I filled it up with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, like the high powered one, like the 91% rubbing alcohol, the bottom little bit. And then I put in 10 drops of peppermint and 10 drops of eucalyptus. And then I filled the rest up with water. And then before I use it, just shake it, shake it, shake it, and then spray. And it smells so delicious. Like seriously, it's so wonderful. You can do that. You can spray that on your linens. You can spray it just in the air. You can spray it on carpets, on your drapes, all sorts of stuff. So pretty much, if you just wanted to do the water and the oil route, you can, as long as you're going to use it up probably within a couple of weeks. It's better to use distilled water than to use tap water, just depending on how, like the hardness or softness of your water. But yeah, you absolutely can. You can even make like a really big spray bottle out of like a Dollar Tree spray bottle and fill it up with water. You'll want to use more essential oil in there. But if you're going to be doing like a whole house, like if you're getting your house ready to sell or something and you want to make it smell really nice, like, you know how they say put cookies in the oven or, you know, whatever, doing a combination of cinnamon bark and thieves, orange, and a little bit of, you could do clove or nutmeg. Put it in a spray bottle, shake it up, spray your house. Delicious. So good. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Richie May? Is that right? I don't know. A facial spray from essential oil. Yeah, you sure can. What I would do with that is, let's see, if I wanted to make my own facial spray, I would probably do the same idea. I would do, you could do witch hazel if you wanted to do that. Um, Also, a really nice astringent actually is apple cider vinegar. It doesn't smell the best. You might smell like pickles for a little while, but it does really, really nicely on your face. So you could do a spray bottle with that and put essential oils in there. Some ones that come to mind, lavender, frankincense, rose would be really nice. That's a little more expensive. A lemmy would be great too. Geranium would also be really nice. Any combination of those in a spray bottle with either water, witch hazel, or apple cider vinegar. Be careful with your eyes if you use the apple cider vinegar or the witch hazel route. If you're using the water, it should be okay. You don't want to get oils in your eye generally. You don't really want to get anything in your eye, but just be super, super, super careful with that. But yeah, you could totally make a 2-ounce spray bottle out of that. One at a time says, do you have a suggestion for something to use when Valor is gone or out of stock? Yeah. Valor is, all right, so here's the deal with products going out of stock with Young Living. These are all natural products, and that causes sometimes there to be supply constraint. And so we have to be patient, but there are other options that you can use. If these were lab created, man-made products, they wouldn't go out of stock, but because they're not, you know, Valor, you'll hear us talk about Valor and Peace and Calming as being out of stock quite a bit. And that's because of I think it's the blue tansy. It's blue something. It's whatever makes both of those blue. I don't remember which blue it is. That's only harvested at a certain time of year. And, you know, after that harvest is done and after they do the bottling, we have to wait until that harvest happens again. And so for Valor 2, they've made a Peace and Calming 2 and a Valor 2. And they smell differently than the original Valor and the original Peace and Calming, but they have the same properties. So like Valor we use to be very courageous and to have feelings of confidence and grounding and things like that. In Valor 2, it's like the Roman numeral 2, that formulation has similar properties to the original Valor. So I would recommend that. Also, check out Australian Blue, Australia Blue, Australian Blue, Australia Blue, Australia something. That is very good for those kind of needing feelings of courage kind of things too. Also vetiver. I like vetiver for that kind of grounding thing too. So hello, Linda from Tennessee. How you doing? So let's see. I talked about why I use Young Living. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm trying to like look at all of my stuff here and see like, have I gone over everything or not? I have all these products like out in front of me. Richie May says, thanks. It's a money saver because facial sprays are usually over $10 to $15. Yeah. So here's the thing with essential oils. They'll seem expensive at first. So I have two things with that. So the first thing is like with frankincense, for example. Frankincense will seem very expensive when you see this like at its retail or its wholesale cost. First of all, a little goes a long way. These are highly concentrated, like I can't call them substances. We'll call them that. And a little goes a long way. So 1 drop of peppermint vitality essential oil from Young Living equals 26 cups. 26 cups of peppermint tea. Okay, like that's crazy. If you really think about how much tea that is, I don't even think I have 26 mugs in my house. I'm sure I don't. So these puppies are potent. When you dry an herb, you lose 97% of that potency, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Only 3% potency is left. And so when you have the essential oil, you know, we always encourage people to dilute them because it makes them last longer. Make your own products out of these. The price per drop is not very expensive. We call it valuable. It's not, when you think about how concentrated these are. So in a big bottle like this, you get about 250 drops. In a small bottle like this, so this is a 15 milliliter. In a 5 milliliter, it's only about, I think, 100 to 150 drops in here. But if you think about how many that actually is, like I've had this frankincense since December and I use it daily, and I don't know if you can see how much I have left in there. I have about, I don't know, a third of it left, and I've been using it daily since December. Like that's crazy, And so a little goes a long way. Second, when we get frankincense, especially that sacred frankincense, which is Boswellia sacra, there we go, that comes all the way from Oman. We have a farm that we partner with in Oman, and they come from the Boswellia tree. It's pretty much kind of like you're tapping a tree for maple syrup, kind of. It has this resin that comes out, and then that resin has to be distilled and and all this stuff before it can be made into the essential oil. So you'll see like frankincense in the health food store, a big bottle, like bigger than this, maybe about that big. That is $7.99. And then it makes you wonder, well, what's really in that bottle? Is there really frankincense in that bottle? Because they don't always have to disclose it. Thank you, Cosmetic Act. So anyway, sometimes when you see essential oils, it looks on the surface like they're really expensive. But they're not when you think about how many uses there are, making all these different products, and a little goes a long way. So I don't know why I got off on that tangent. I'm not sure. Where did that come from? But yes, you are absolutely right, Richie May. It is very expensive to buy pre-made things. So when you have these products, you can make so many different things, and it's so much cheaper making them yourself, and you know what's going in them too. So a lot of times facial sprays and all these like products that we put on ourselves, first of all, they're toxic, and second of all, they are expensive. So yeah, making these yourself, totally good. Absolutely good. Okay, one at a time is asking me if I use a diffuser necklace. I love this question. Yes, I do use diffuser necklace all the time. All the time. My favorite oils of choice are, yeah, you're with Young Living, Citrus Fresh and Christmas Spirit. Putting both of those in my diffuser necklace. Love that. I was actually in line, and I told this on my channel before, in line at National Tire and Battery, maybe in the fall sometime. I had my diffuser necklace on underneath my North Face jacket. And the guy that was behind the counter, he starts sniffing and he's like, "You smell really good." Thank you. This is awkward. Can I have my car back, please? Thanks. So anyway, yes, I love my diffuser necklace. It's like absolutely my 100% favorite thing of all time. Yes. And everybody in my oily family has a diffuser necklace too. Because I sent them one. Alrighty, let's see. Luana is asking, what do you suggest for dry, itchy skin? I love to use coconut oil for that, in addition to a couple of different oils. The first one is Melrose oil. I love to use that. It's a combination of a few different things. I don't have it out here, unfortunately, but it's very nourishing and very soothing for your skin. Also, lavender is amazing for skin soothing. If you have like any kind of like a rash or a bug bite or a very minor burn or a minor cut or something like that, lavender is great to use for that. As long as it's not something that you would need to like go to the doctor for. Of course, always go to the doctor if you feel like it's like a really something you got to get checked out or whatever. But if you're just trying to ease irritation at home, lavender and Melrose with some coconut oil, my number one favorite thing to do. Let's see, Divine Surprise. Hello from San Antonio. Hello. I've never been to San Antonio. I've never actually been to Texas. Have I been to Texas before? No, I've never been to Texas. I have family in Texas, though. Can you use them as tinctures? I have no idea. I would imagine probably, but I'm not sure. I actually have a music student's mother who is getting her herbalist certification, so I will ask her. I don't know if you can use them as tinctures. I use tinctures that I get pre-made. I can just tell you, sure, this might help someone at some point. I don't know. So, and this is probably not compliant to say, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I I'm so hesitant to tell you guys this is awful. Oh my gosh, the FDA really like makes me nervous. Um, Way long time ago, and of course, always consult your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am not treating, prescribing, or diagnosing or anything like that. Okay, so I had a cold a few years ago, and my cold went away, but I had a lingering cough that was just nagging on and on and on. And I went to the doctor for it, and there wasn't really anything I could do. And so I was like, I got to figure out something else because I was living on cough medicine and it would work for a little while and then, it wears off. And so I was talking to an herbalist that is a friend of my sister and her husband. And she said, try the mullein tincture. And so mullein is spelled Mullein or IEN. I think it's EIN. And it tastes like coffee a little bit. I don't know. I just followed the instructions on the bottle, couple of drops in some water. I think it was like 50 drops, maybe. It wasn't a couple, a few times a day. And it supported my lungs to help my body heal itself from my lingering cough. So there we go. Hopefully that was compliant to say. And of course, this is educational purposes only. So you'll have to make your own decisions on whether you want to use a mullein tincture or not. But I love tinctures, so there we go. But I'm sorry, Divine Surprise, I can't help you with that. I don't know if you can make a tincture out of it. I would imagine so, but these are so concentrated that I think it would be a different formulation than it would be if you're just making a normal tincture. So one at a time is asking, where do you get your necklace? So the necklaces that I get, I send them to my oily family, and so I get them in bulk from, what is that website called? DH Gate. Is that right? DH Gate. But I buy them by like the caseload. I get them about 100 at a time. I'm assuming you don't want 100 diffuser necklaces. So yes, eBay is the next best bet. If I have oily, and I do have oily family members that are not in the United States. I have some in Canada. I have some in Spain and Australia. And so I use their eBay. So eBay Australia, eBay Canada, and I send them their diffuser necklaces from there. So you can get them from eBay. They take a little while to get here because they're from China, but they're really good, high quality ones. You can get them for about $4.99 with free shipping. So it's a really fantastic deal. So check out eBay. There are some on Amazon too, but they're way more expensive. If you want really nice ones, like super nice ones, there is a store called Sacred Arrow. They have a lot of really cute designs. So check out Sacred Arrow if you're interested in getting a really nice diffuser necklace. Okie dokie. Linda. Hello, Linda. Any ideas for a deodorant spray that does not include baking soda? So before I started using essential oils in my deodorant, like before I was actually like making my own formulation, I was using plain, this is going to sound weird, plain coconut oil. I don't know what, somebody's calling me, sorry. I don't know why it works, but it does. Coconut oil is very I hope I can say this, antibacterial, antimicrobial. And so coconut oil on its own works great. Now, I don't know how you'd spray that on. Um, I would imagine if you used witch hazel, that would work too. I've heard people use apple cider vinegar as well. I would think it would make you smell like pickles. So I don't know if you would want to do that. If you added oils to that, you probably could. But I've never actually tried making a deodorant spray. So I'm going to have to try that. You have inspired me, Linda. Thank you. I will be doing that for our oily family very soon. All right, Rupa, let's see. Hi, Annie. Do you do your own face masks? Yeah, every now and again. A face mask that I like to do, it's very, very easy. I do a combination of turmeric and raw honey as a face mask. And I mix that together. The honey, I just eyeball it. I don't really have like an actual recipe for you. But what I do is about a tablespoon-ish of raw honey with about half a teaspoon or so of turmeric, and I mix that together and I put it on my face. Turmeric, we all know, is very anti-inflammatory. Raw honey is very antimicrobial, antibacterial, and it's just really good. And it's very softening for your skin too. So you rub it in on dry skin, let it sit, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe, and then rinse it off, or you can rub it off with like a warm washcloth. And that's a really nice face mask that you can do. I've also seen some that are, you can do yogurt and equal parts yogurt, raw honey, and cinnamon. You could do that too. I don't really like putting milk on my face, and I haven't had milk in a long time, so I don't have it actually in the house anymore. When I was eating yogurt and things like that, maybe I would have, but I don't know. I feel weird about putting milk on my face. So Rupa's also asking any recommendation for sunken eyes, dark circles. Yeah, frankincense I think would be a really good one for that. Let me check one other place here that I can't tell you what I'm checking because that's not compliant, which is ridiculous. But stand by. I may be looking on my phone. I may be looking at an app. Let's see. Yeah, so this is saying frankincense, also carrot seed oil. Interesting. Carrot seed oil smells absolutely atrocious. I really do not like the smell of carrot seed oil. However, this is important to note. I'm going to go on a little tangent here for a second. So there are some oils that don't smell good. That's not the point of essential oils. The point of essential oils, they're not perfume oils. These are two different things. They're not perfume. They have properties in them that work with synergistically, like that word, with your body to support certain things. And so when we have an oil, for me, it's valerian. I can't stand the smell of valerian. I want to be nowhere near it. However, it's very, very good for helping you fall asleep. Very good for helping you fall asleep. So I'll put it on my feet, put socks on so I don't have to smell it, and maybe put some peppermint on top of it so it like masks the smell. I still use it because I know it works well, but man, it stinks real bad. Carrot seed for me is the same idea. I think carrot seed smells horrible. However, very good apparently for underneath your eyes. Also frankincense, very good too. So you could layer them. You could do carrot seed on the bottom, frankincense on top, and that would be probably a good combination for you. I would do it every night before bed. That's what I would do. Linda, yes, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you for your inspiration. I appreciate it. So let's see, is there any, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer anything. I'll be around for about 5 more minutes because we are almost to an hour. Holy moly, I've been talking for an hour. Thank you guys for those who've been sticking with me here. I really appreciate it. The whole reason I wanted to do a live video rather than a recorded video is I feel like I want to talk to you guys. Like I feel like I'm always talking to myself. I'm talking to my camera, I'm talking to a screen, and I don't get to interact with you guys. So I like the live thing because I can actually answer questions live. It's always a good thing to interact with y'all. So I love that. Yes, so I want to mention if you're interested in getting essential oils, if you don't have them already, I only recommend Young Living. If you are interested in Young Living essential oils, I have a link in the description of this video already that you can click on and check out, Young Living stuff. When I got started with Young Living, I made a mistake. I did not get started with a premium starter kit. I piecemealed, like I bought an oil one at a time as a retail customer, and I wasted a lot of money by doing that because I wasn't getting the wholesale cost, and the premium starter kit is such a good deal. And so if I could do it all over, I would have just gotten the premium starter kit and then gone from there. But that's neither here nor there. Learn from my mistake. So what's in the premium starter kit is you get 11 essential oils of the 5 milliliter size. They are good. It's called the Everyday Oils Kit, and it's very good for pretty much everything. You can use these things to support all the different systems of the body. So like immune system support, there's thieves in there. Purification is very good for immune system as well. Purification can be used as a bug spray. It can deodorize your house. You get lemon, which is always, great for supporting your excretory system and lymphatic systems. You get peppermint, which is very good for supporting digestion. You also get digize in there, amongst, a bunch of others. You also get a diffuser, which is amazing too. So you can get rid of using candles or wallflowers or oil melts or whatever you call those things, wax melts, those toxic products we don't realize are toxic. So diffusers are great for those. I always diffuse things in my music lessons. I just love, love, love my diffuser. I have many, many of them in my house. They're everywhere in like all my different rooms. I diffuse every single day. There's also some samples and things. Plus, you get 24% off your future purchases with Young Living. You never, ever, 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 ever have to host a party or sell or do any of that. 80% of the members just get the wholesale account to buy products for themselves. So don't ever feel like, no, I don't want to be a part of this because I don't want to sell. You don't have to sell. It's just, that's not even a consideration you even have to worry about. So I know it's always a concern of people when they see, I have to sign up as a member. Why do you want this information from me? Blah, 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 blah. You don't have to even take advantage of that unless you want to. You can, but you don't have to. All right, so Divine Surprise. Oh, okay, for Linda, are you here still, Linda? Zinc vitamins helps with body odor. Interesting. I did not know that. Zinc, all these minerals. Minerals are good. We love that. So one at a time is saying, how do you choose coconut oil? I use fractionated in my skincare, and yours looked more solid for your deodorant. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, and Angie, I will get to that in a second because I've been doing more oil pulling. Yes, so how do you choose the different types of coconut oil? So what one at a time is saying is fractionated coconut oil, or MCT oil, is liquid at room temperature. And so that's fantastic for making like little roller bottle ball things. Like if you wanted to make a blend of like what I was talking about, the bed before bed blend of the cedarwood and the lavender, use this, a few drops of these each in a roller bottle. You get it from Amazon with some MCT oil, and that coconut oil is what it is. MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides. So it doesn't like solidify at room temperature. It'll roll on really easily. So you can use that as a carrier oil. So that works out well. For me, the reason that I use, well, I have actually two coconut oils. I have this one, the solid one, from Trader Joe's. The reason I have this is because it was cheap. from Trader Joe's. So I bought it. It's organic, which I love. I also have a huge one from Costco that I actually need to restock. Um, it's in my pantry that I use for like cooking and stuff. I think coconut oil is coconut oil is coconut oil. You know, they have the expeller pressed, they have the cold pressed, they have the whatever, blah, blah, blah. As minimal, the rule of thumb for me is as minimal processing as possible is going to be your best bet. So that's why I use um, like the coconut oil that I use, just because I know that it's not really processed. For my deodorant, though, I don't want my deodorant to be super runny. That's why I use the solid at room temperature coconut oil rather than the MCT oil. Just because if I use the MCT oil, it would be harder to scoop it out of my jar. It's easier to scoop when it's more solid. So that's the only reason why. There's no, like for me, there's no right or wrong. There's no one better than the other. Angie. Okay, so Angie is now doing oil pulling. If you guys don't know what oil pulling is, this is something I did a video on a long time ago, and it's something that I still do to this day, with a little asterisk. Shoot, let me grab my thieves and I'll show you guys what I do. So thieves, I have it over here because I just did oil pulling this morning. Thieves, oil. This is a combination of, see if I can remember, clove, rosemary, lemon, cinnamon. Darn it, I always forget one. I don't remember what it is. Eucalyptus. Holy heavens. Okay, so okay, clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, radiata, and rosemary. There we go. That's what's in thieves. So this blend is super like crazy supportive for your immune system. And that's all I can really say about that. So what I've been doing with the thieves is I will take a spoonful of coconut oil, like literally on a teaspoon, and I'll put 2 drops of thieves on it. Put the combination in my mouth and swish it around, not like I'm swishing mouthwash, but like swish it enough to get it around my teeth. Dr. Axe, who I love, he's fantastic, recommends 20 minutes of oil pulling. So what I do in the morning, this is like my morning routine when I get up. I get up, I take my vitamin C because I have to take it on an empty stomach. The one I take is the lipospheric vitamin C. It's 1000 IU. I get it from Amazon. It's a little pricey, but it doesn't upset your digestive system. So if you have, like if you react to vitamin C, if it makes you like go to the bathroom, this one does not. This one works really well. So anyway, I have to take that on an empty stomach, wait 15 minutes at least before I have my breakfast. So what I do is I take my vitamin C and then I do my oil pulling. Tablespoon of coconut oil, 2 drops of thieves. Put it on a spoon, stick it in my mouth, and just gently swish it around my teeth. Okay, and what that does is this is such an old thing. This is not new. People have been doing this for a very long time. I add the thieves in it because of the clove being supportive for my gum health. All right, and my teeth health. And combination, just gently swishy for about 20 minutes. It really flies by. Like today, during my oil pulling, I did like my billing for my music lessons and like all this stuff. It was just happening while I was doing other things. Then what you do is you spit it out and then you rinse your mouth with water. You can brush your teeth then afterward if you want to, but as long as you spit it out and rinse your mouth, you're okay. And then I have my breakfast and I go on with my day. So oil pulling for me is I'm really working hard on my tooth health. So that's why I oil pull and that's why I do it with thieves, and it works great for me. So good. I am so glad that you have been inspired to oil pull. And you are welcome, one at a time. You are welcome. You are welcome, Linda. Linda's asking, would lemon eucalyptus work with the coconut oil for deodorant? Yes, absolutely. I would, yeah, absolutely. There'd be no reason why it wouldn't. I would be careful. Are you talking about lemon and eucalyptus? I know there's a lemon myrtle. I don't know if there's a lemon eucalyptus. There's a lot of different types of eucalyptus. If it's lemon that you're thinking of, I would be careful because of the citrus oil. If you're going to be going outside, because that would be potentially in an area, unless you're wearing a t-shirt over it, I guess, that could be exposed to the sun. And the lemon is photosensitive, so you just have to be very careful. Your skin can burn if you have lemon or citrus oil on it. But yeah, like I would totally do anything that has a scent that you like. Even like I know my sister just uses plain purification, and that works for her. For me, I didn't really love doing that. I just felt like a walking citronella candle all the time. But she's used plain purification, like a drop in her hand and on her pits, and that was it. So I don't know. I'm not sure I would do that, but if I would maybe do like a combination, yeah, lemon and eucalyptus. I absolutely, yeah, as long as you're wearing a t-shirt over it and blocking the sun from getting, hitting the lemon on your skin. Yeah, yeah. Lemon is actually really good too if you have dark armpits. It can help bleach, for lack of a better, not really bleach, but like lighten your armpit. If that's an issue for you, I don't know. But yeah, other thing, I mean, you could totally do eucalyptus. If you have RC from your starter kit, that would be a good one too, because there's a lot of eucalyptus ones in there. Peppermint would be great. I would think you wouldn't want to smell like super strong, so probably maybe 5 or 7 drops of each would be plenty for you. So yeah, all right guys, well I hope that this has been helpful for you, so you guys know what I do with my skin and etc. So if you're interested in oils, email me. It's totally fine. I'm happy to help. My email is anniesimplelife@gmail.com. You can check the link below. Also, that is the link to Young Living if you're interested in getting started with essential oils. I have told people this before. I wish I had these oils in college. I wish I had them in elementary school. I wish I had them like way earlier than I do now, just because they have been so wonderful for me and my family. My sister and her husband use them. My parents use them. My husband uses them. I use them all the time. Um, my cousins use them. Like it's like a family affair. They have become a part of the family. If you see behind me in some other videos, I'll have another video coming up probably tomorrow, where you can see behind me when I do my intro and my exit, I have this like thing over my shoulder that's like hanging on the wall. It's all of my oils. You just kind of accumulate them over time and you use them for everything, and they just become so second nature, that it's just like I have occasional head tension. What do? I go grab my lavender, I put it on my thumb pads, and I put some peppermint on my forehead. And it just becomes like a thing. And I don't know. It's just, I just love them. So they're wonderful. I use them for obviously lots of different things. And they're great. So if you have any questions, I mean, seriously, leave them in the comments of this video. I will see them. Or you can email me, anniesimplelife@gmail.com. Yeah, I think that's all. That's all I have to tell you. I'll be back for another live video at some point. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like me to talk about, I'd be happy to do it. I love talking to you guys. So, all right. So now I have to figure out how to stop this because I never remember. Let's see. Tools. Nope. Yeah, I think this is how. Okay, so I will say goodbye to you now. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. Hope you all had a great long weekend here in the States. And yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, hump day. So we're almost to Friday, right? Almost, not quite. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned for more videos. Hope you're well, and I hope you're taking care, and get yourself some essential oils if you don't have them already, because they are wonderful things. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.